What's going on, guys? In this video we finally get the car and the body together. We pulled them together and we finally get moving on this project. It seems like it's taking forever, but we are here. So after putting the frame on the trailer, we finally get a good look at it. I put some blocks in there because the springs aren't tall enough to keep it level, so that when we put it up underneath the body it won't be so hard. But as you can see, I also ran the hydraulic hoses through the frame just so that I don't have to go back and do it later on down the road. Here you can see we are finally starting to get the body lifted up off of this boat trailer. This is probably going to be like one of the last times you can see the whole thing all at once as one unit. It'll be hidden now probably for the rest of its life. I don't know, but it'll probably be hidden and you won't see this stuff anymore, but it is all done and it does look all nice. Who else frames off a four-door Caprice from the 80s? So I wanted to make sure this car was nice and clean. I washed it all. The engine bay, I wanted it spotless, cleaned up as best as it could be because it probably never have a chance to get clean again. I took the air condition box, pulled that all apart, cleaned it, made it like new. As you can see, this car still looks pretty good for being painted 5 years ago. This is a quick time lapse trying to get that body off the frame. We just used the floor jack to get it up off the trailer, and then we're going to use actually the jacks that came in like my Silverado and the Escalade to lift the car up because they're screw jacks and they go straight up. Right now, I just want to get it pretty close. I know it's not going to be perfect where the frame and the body line up, but close is good enough. At this point, I realized this pillar I put too far away, so I had to remove it. The actual 4x4 I used is even in the wrong spot, so I had to put another 4x4 in there, move the pillar, and then start the process basically all over again. Because if I would have left it where it would have lowered down right onto the transmission. This whole process of putting the body on the frame, lowering it down, probably took a good afternoon with 2 people. Now here I'm trying to like fine tune and move the body and or move the frame a little bit underneath to get it in the right spot so that I can actually start putting in the new bushings that we put in, and we put in new bolts for the body mounts. We ended up using grade 8 bolts, new body mount bushings, so they're going to be thick. I use the rubber ones because everybody said that if you put polyurethane ones on, they're too stiff. It's the first look at it, and as you can see, here's the air conditioned box. I had cleaned it all out prior to, putting the body on the car. All that's nice and clean so that I could come back in. We're gonna put new butyl tape so that it doesn't leak, because we were getting a little bit of heat creep from the engine, I believe, into the air conditioning. So this stuff, you can find it on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. You just pull out the old stuff and then mash this new stuff in. We also changed out the heater core and the air condition. I think it's a condenser evaporator. I forget which one this is. The one that was in there worked, but from all the years of leaves and stuff blowing in there, it wasn't right. So now we'll take this butyl tape, we'll go around all the edges, reseal it back up. We'll even put the butyl tape on the firewall, because a lot of times people with these Caprices will have rotted out floors, and it's because this box leaks after so many years. That butyl tape is only good for maybe 30 years, and then it needs to be replaced. So this is the finished look. I mean, there's still a lot to do, but at least you can see we got the cover on. It's all sealed up. Now the air conditioner will work the way it's supposed to be. I might not even hook up the heater cord because we're in Florida, and hell, we don't really need the heat, but maybe it'll keep the car cooler in the summer. So after I got that all knocked out, it was time to finally start this thing up. Now, we started the motor on the stand and it was fine, but this will be the first time actually starting it in the car with its own battery and the key and everything. So I want to make sure that the wiring is working again and all correct, because a lot of that stuff was taken out. God, it's been almost 2 years 2 years ago since I did this. So I just got to remember where everything goes and try to put it back, hooking up the alternator and the air conditioning and the starter and all that. You know, all that stuff is kind of a pain in the butt to come back onto, but luckily these cars were really simple back in the 80s. Once I got the body on the frame, I was assuming that the weight of the body on the frame was going to lower the front end down a little bit, but those 4.5 ton or 4 ton springs are really stiff, and the car maybe moved down a half an inch from fully locked up. So I'm going to have to try to break these springs in the old-fashioned way. So the hardest part about getting this car to run, it seemed to be, was once we had the fuel tank in there, all the fuel lines hooked up, the hardest part was getting fuel back to the front of the car again. It took forever to pump it through with the mechanical fuel pump. So eventually we got it fired up and it was running fine. I wanted to test if it was going to drive forward and back, because we haven't actually done anything with the transmission since it's been taken out. We only did gaskets and a new filter and new fluid. Everything else is basically stock with the transmission. It wasn't broken and it shifted fine, so I didn't want to start messing with it just because I can. So at this point, everything is hooked up. That's kind of essential. There's no power steering, which is not really essential, and there's no power brakes. So I have to still run a vacuum line from the back of the carburetor to the power brake booster so I can get brakes. You know, we bled the brakes, but everything was disconnected. All the lines were disconnected. All new lines were put in. So everything had to be filled, and it took a little while. And, you know, without having power brakes, it's pretty hard to get the car to stop. I'm used to driving my old Chevy truck, and that doesn't have power brakes, and I stand on them things, but man, this Caprice felt like I really had to freaking stand on it to get it to stop. So for the next few weeks, I'm going to have to go through this entire wire harness. We're going to get rid of all the nonsense junk that we're no longer using. The basics, we're going to have air conditioning. We're going to have a kick up for the air conditioning, the alternator. We're going to have an electric choke. Thanks for watching. Next video, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the steering. We got to get that all hooked up, the power steering. We got that new steering box. I want to get everything aligned with that before we get any further. There's a couple little issues with it. I mean, it's working right now to turn it and everything, but beyond that, it's really not there yet. So we're going to work on that next video, so stay tuned. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe. Later.